Hello again guys, and welcome back to another episode of my crazy collection. If you can just about see me here, you can see that today we're going to be looking at some of my best collector's editions, and these two, especially on the sides, are some of the biggest collector's editions in my collection. So I really am a sucker for these collector's editions. How many times did I say that in one video? But the thing is, I do not want to normally spend the amount of money they come out when they're first released. So none of these were bought at release, they were all bought further down the line. So we're going to start with the smallest firm first, so let's jump straight in to the Grand Theft Auto 4 Collector's Edition. Now there's a bit more space on the table, let's jump into this Grand Theft Auto 4 Special Edition. So this one here is for the Xbox 360, so of course I did buy this game on release. You know, who wasn't going to be picking this up? It was the first of that generation's Grand Theft Autos. It was kind of sandwiched between San Andreas and GTA 5. This one was a bit more gritty and it kind of divides a lot of people, but I think for me it was a really good Grand Theft Auto, especially because it was kind of the first one that had that GTA Online, especially like Cops and Robbers modes was absolutely fantastic back in the day on Xbox Live. So let's jump into this collector's edition. This isn't a small one by any like stretch of the imagination. I think it's because the other editions we had on the table then were absolutely huge. But it was really cool to go back and kind of capture some footage for this video, for this game. It kind of does still stand up. I think when we first started playing, the driver mechanic did feel a bit clunky, but after GTA 5 it actually feels pretty normal. So here we have the first bit inside the box. So it is the collector's edition tin. This is like a stash box, really nice there, with a GTA 4 logo, a little rock star down the bottom. This does actually lock, but we can simply lift this section up. First thing we have in there is, importantly, the game. So obviously I have got multiple copies of this game. It's all complete in there with the guidebook and the map. I think a lot of these games you kind of will just lose the map over time. It's always good to have a spare copy of GTA. Also we have the soundtrack CD here. The thing I do try to think about this game, it didn't have the biggest standout soundtrack. Like when I think of other GTA games, I can always think of a couple of songs. I just kind of always think about GTA when I think about it now. This one didn't have really many that stood out. Also has a really nice Art of Grand Theft Auto art book inside, which is really nice. Kind of flipping through, you can kind of see a lot of the art. Definitely kind of has that traditional kind of rockstar style look. And of course it wouldn't be a lockbox without the key. This is one of those things I kind of worry always about losing. I suppose if you did lose it, you'd never be able to get in there to the art book and the game. But yeah, it's a cool little collector's edition, but I think this did come out for well over £100 when it was released. Arguably, I don't think it was worth it. For me, this was a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Only actually in the last year or so I picked this up for, I think, £15 or £20. A lot better at that price, but let's get on to the next collector's edition. This next one may be huge, but it isn't the biggest collector's edition in my collection. But it's probably one of the most controversial. So this is the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite box set. This one I actually got off eBay off kind of a stock clearance place. I think because they couldn't sell these, there were so many on the shelves. So I did actually buy this without the games. Normally it would come with a steelbook, but I managed to pick this up on eBay, I think about £15 or £20. As you can see in here, it has a lot of content. It has not one, but 4 statues, and they are decent quality, but more importantly, it also has a full set of Infinity Stones. So if you can see the stones there, they are not what they appear like in the box. So let's jump in and I will show you what I mean. So this was a really eagerly anticipated game for a lot of people. I am a massive fan of Marvel and a massive fan of Capcom, but I'm also terrible at fighting games. So this one kind of nearly passed me by, but the collector's edition was an absolute thing of beauty. But this thing is absolutely huge. It's now on the floor. There we go. So opening it up, we have a lot of polystyrene in here to jump into. So the thing is, this collector's edition was £100, but do you get your money's worth? Well, I think these statues are absolutely incredible. When you open these up, these are like decent collector's style statues. These aren't cheap little ones. You can see we've got Iron Man there. So I quite liked this. They've done 2 statues for Marvel and 2 for Capcom. So we've got Chun-Li from Street Fighter there. Then we have Captain Marvel. And the thing is, I really want to reiterate, these are decent statues. And the cool thing is, they kind of all slot together, so you can kind of set up a diorama for a fight. Let's chuck this stuff everywhere, it's fine, it's only packaging. So once these are all clicked together, they make a really cool diorama of the fight. Obviously with the fight, it's always 2-on-2, kind of tag teams. It's really cool to mix it up. I kind of prefer the Marvel tag teams, but I do think there's quite a cool couple of Capcom ones, especially the Resident Evil ones. I think they're probably my favourites. We'll switch those to the side. And this was the problem people had with this collector's edition. So, I'm not going to put the batteries in there. These do light up, but you can compare what it looked like on the back of the box. These are the Infinity Stones. So let's just compare that to the back of the box. So, on the box here, this edition is absolutely ginormous. So, we look at the box there, for the eggs, they look like jewels. Here, they look like eggs. So jewels on the box and eggs. So these do light up, but they are not Infinity Stones in any way, shape or form. I think this was kind of time when Capcom were kind of losing their way and they were losing fans. The statues in this make the collector's edition worth it. They look really, really cool. But these Infinity Stones are just a joke and have become known to many as the Infinity Eggs. But this may be a big collector's edition, but this last one is massive. Here we have the final and biggest collector's edition from my collection. This is the Recore Collector's Edition, you know, the Xbox One exclusive game. So when I actually bought this, I hadn't actually played the game or really even heard of it before, but I saw this collector's edition once again on eBay in a clearance and it was super cheap. So again, this one did not come with the game itself. That seems to be one of the things they're doing with collector's editions if they're selling them on, is taking the game out and just selling the content. But one good thing about this one is actually on Games Pass, so I was able to play it before. So I'm actually playing it at the moment. It's a really, really enjoyable game, really good, kind of open worldy, shooting kind of robot game. There'll be some footage down in the corner, I definitely recommend it. The only problem with this one was, when they sent it, it's not so obvious now, but there was a postage sticker literally just posted on the side of it. They didn't wrap it, box it or anything, they just literally put a shipping label on it, which was absolutely ridiculous. I did manage to get in touch with them and get a partial refund for that. So I'm going to get this out and we'll cut back in when it's out of the box. Here we are on out of the box, and it's not that exciting watching me taking these literally out of the box, struggling with the polystyrene. So this one does come with the steelbook of the game. It's a really nice steelbook. I kind of am a sucker for a decent steelbook. That was really cool. It has the main character on the front and all the kind of robots that she works with. But the main thing about this one is what is inside this box. This is a absolutely ginormous statue. This is one of the biggest gaming statues I think I have seen, and this collector's edition was actually a really good price. So again, I dread to think what this originally came out as, but I meant to pick this one up for around, I like to say under £20. But the statue of this one is absolutely incredible. Once again, though, the only thing is with these larger statues is where do you even put this? This would take a lot of shelf in anyone's games room. You know, I have quite a large games room. This would take a lot of space, but this is an absolutely breathtaking statue from the game. Like, they definitely did not spare any expense on this one. It is really, really nice. I'm not one for having a lot of statues on display, but this one is definitely one of the best ones I've seen. And I'm really glad I picked this up before I kind of knew too much about the game, so I didn't really know a lot about it, but it's actually turning into one of my favourite Xbox One exclusives. We also have this bit here, which is a decoder. So this could be used in the game. I think I haven't actually got to any of these points yet, so it'd be quite interesting to see what this is all about. But this is a really nice collector's edition. Like, the statue is really good. But it kind of brings me to one of the big questions of this video. Is like, how important are the contents of collector's editions to you as kind of gaming collectors? A statue like this is really nice, but I'd only really pick this up for a game I really, really liked. I know I said with this one it's kind of a blind buy, not knowing a lot about the game, but that's because it was ridiculously cheap. I think this thing I picked up under £20. I think this collector's edition is easily over 100 now. This is one of the things with collector's editions, they will absolutely jump up in price. But when it comes to games from real estate, you are going to run out of room. There's only so much room for these bigger collector's editions. So, do you just get as many as you can? Do you stick to kind of your favourite games? Or do you just go and go crazy like me and pick up whatever you can when you can? Let me know in the comments down below. There we have it then, guys. That wraps up another episode of my crazy collection. It's always really cool to jump into some of these collector's editions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below. So I really want to know, guys' opinion on collector's editions. Are they a waste of money and just take up too much space? Are they just something you need to have? I just think they're really cool. You get some cool little collectible bits, some nice statues, sometimes some bonus bits of the game. What I do not like at the moment is the way it seems to be going with collector's editions with them not even coming with a copy of the game. I think what I can think of recently that did this was Red Dead Redemption 2, where you've got a chest with all the stuff in it, but not even a copy of the game. If I'm buying a collector's edition, I wanted to have at least a copy of the game, even though I know it sounds ironic with some of the ones I had today, but they were bought off eBay for a lot cheaper and I picked up the game separately, thus saving money, gaming smartly. So, hope you enjoyed the video once again. Remember to like, subscribe and comment your favourite collector's edition below. And I'll see you again soon for another episode of my crazy collection. So, as always, keep playing the game. See you soon.